Good morning, learners. I am Ruchika Sharma from Cambridge International School, Dasua. I am going to teach you Chapter 2 of Economics. I hope you all are safe and sound. Stay at home and keep studying. As you know that we have started Chapter 2 of your economics book, whose title is People as Resource. Now we are going to continue part 2 of the same chapter. So let's get started. First of all, let's have a quick revision of the topics that you have already covered in this chapter in your video 1. So here is the list of the topics that we have already done in your last video lesson. First of all, we understood the meaning of human capital. Human capital is the stock of skill and productive knowledge embodied in people of the country. And you all can make addition to human capital, which is known as human capital formation. This is the term that is when the existing human capital or human resource is further developed by becoming more educated and healthy. We call it human capital formation, which adds to the productive power of the country, just like physical capital formation. Actually, like other resources, population is also a resource, that is a human resource. And investment made in human resource becomes human capital formation, which will definitely help in enhancing economic growth of the country by increasing gross national product. GNP, that is gross national product, refers to the total goods and services produced in an year in an economy. After this, you also have learned the definition of the title of the book, that is People as Resource. People as Resource is a way of referring to a country's working people in terms of their existing productive skills and abilities. Basically, it emphasizes ability to contribute to the creation of GNP, gross national product. Now, we had already talked a lot about investment done in human capital or human capital formation. Investment in human capital can be made through education, training, medical care, and this type of investment yields a return, just like investment in any other physical capital. And this can be directly seen in the form of higher incomes and higher productivity. More educated or better trained persons can be found in that country. Last topic that we covered in our previous video was outcomes of investment in human capital. I had already informed you that investment in human capital is crucial for any economy. There must be some very important or vital positive impacts of or outcomes of this kind of investment. Before going through this, let's revise the case studies of Sakal and Vikal. The picture shown here can help you to remind about the story of Vilas and Sakal, who used to live in the same village. Sakal was a 12-year-old boy and his mother was housewife, while his father worked in an agricultural field. He completed his senior secondary and with his father's persuasion he continued studies. He completed his course in computers, after which he got a job in a private firm, where he designed a new kind of software which increased the sale of the firm. Because of the software, Sakal was rewarded with a promotion. Now, on the other hand, we had Vilas, whose father was passed away when he was just 2 years old. His mother, Geeta, used to sell fish to earn money to feed the family. One day, his mother fell ill and there was no one to look after her. And even there was no one to support the family. Vilas was forced to sell fish in the same village, as Vilas had already dropped the school, as he was himself became a patient of arthritis. So he could not find any job than selling fish in the market. And like his mother, he was also earning only small income. So, students, with the help of this story, you understood that through investment in education and health, one can earn better income than others and can contribute better to the society. Actually, educated parents only understand the importance of education. They are very conscious of proper nutrition and hygiene. After this, we had discussed Japan, who used its human resource only for development, and importantly, natural resources were imported from other countries. Now, let's get started with today's topic. Topics that we are going to study in detail are economic and non-economic activities, economic activities done by men and women, and quality of population. Let's go through all these. Students, you already have been told the meaning of economic and non-economic activities. In my last video lesson, I gave you only the introduction of these two activities. Today, we are going to study each of the activity with examples in detail. Let's start with economic activities first. Students, you all are aware of human needs. We need different types of goods and services in order to satisfy our basic needs or even all the human wants. You always keen to buy more and more, to use more and more. You all want to use the latest and the most expensive goods and services. And even if we talk about poor, then they are also willing to have more and more of goods and services in order to live comfortably and have good life. But where the problem lies? Actually, no doubt human needs or human wants are unlimited, but we do not have that much goods and services. That's because goods and services that are able to satisfy human needs are limited, or we can say that goods and services are scarce. Hence, they are not available free of cost. Whenever you go out to have clothes or any other goods, you need to have money, you need to have resources to buy that. Thus, the actual problem lies that we do not have unlimited money, we do not have unlimited resources to satisfy each need of us. Therefore, to avail these goods and services, one needs to pay money. Now, let's think about from where does we get money? The simple answer is we are having money only when we earn. Now, you can also think from where does your parents get money for your education, for food in house and every other expense. They earn that money, and the activity through which they earn money is basically known as economic activities. Therefore, economic activities are various activities man engages in order to earn money and wealth, in order to earn resources to fulfill all human wants. You can see in the picture a doctor, chef, a worker, or if you are working in any company, all you are doing is economic activity. It is the activity through which you generate income, through which you get money. But there are many other activities that you generally do in your daily life but that do not yield you any income, and those are termed as non-economic activities. Let's go through those activities too. Actually, economic activities are such activities which are performed neither to earn money nor to satisfy human wants, are called non-economic activities. Basically, non-economic activities are undertaken to satisfy self-need, to have self-consumption. You can see in the pictures there are few examples given. When your mother cooks food for you in house is termed as non-economic activities. When you are playing with your friends, when you are making tea for yourself, when you are gardening in your own garden, when you are planting trees in your own farm for your self consumption, that is known as non-economic activities. Actually, economic activities are money oriented activities, while non-economic activities are done to support your home, your family, to support your society in which you are living, to support your culture, for politics, for education, and for your specific religion. Let's have one more realistic example of economic and non-economic activities. In the given picture, you can see a farmer has grown crops and has finally started selling it to the general public. Therefore, a farmer growing crops for the purpose of selling is actually included in economic activity, because after selling the grown crops, farmer is going to get money in return, and this is the process of money generation. That is why it is termed as economic income or economic activity. On the other hand, this is the picture where a farmer has grown crops for self-consumption. That means a farmer growing produce for personal consumption is included in non-economic activities, because after using produced crops for self-consumption, farmer is not going to get any kind of money. So there is no money generation, there is no economic activity. That is a non-economic activity. I hope the concept of economic and non-economic activities are clear to you. Now, this is the slide which includes different examples of economic activities versus non-economic activities. You have a moment to go through the examples written in the slide. Now, let's go through the definition that we have derived from the earlier discussion is that economic activities are called market activities. Market activities involve remuneration, that means income, to anyone who performs, that means activity performed for pay or profit. These include production of goods or services, including government service. On the other hand, non-economic activities are non-market activities, where production is done for self-consumption. This can be consumption and processing of primary product or on account production of fixed assets. Students, you all have to learn these two definitions of economic and non-economic activity. Difference may also come in any question. As we all have understood the meaning of economic and non-economic activities, let's move to the types of economic activities. To understand the topic, you will be required to watch the next part of the video very carefully. Thus, people has been engaged in various activities. The various activities have been classified into three main sectors, that is primary, secondary, tertiary. Primary activities includes agriculture, forestry, animal husbandry, fishing, poultry farming, mining, etc. In these sectors, goods are produced with the help of nature, while the secondary sector includes manufacturing as the main occupation. Along with manufacturing, construction activities are also covered in secondary sector. Last but not the least, we have tertiary sector. The other name of tertiary sector is service sector. Trade, transport, communication, banking, education, health, tourism, services basically are included in the tertiary activities. Actually, all these types of economic activities, primary, secondary and tertiary activities, result in the production of goods and services and finally generate income in the country. Learners, you are supposed to learn examples and meaning of the types of economic activities that we have just discussed. Students, now is the time to analyze whether men and women undertake same type of economic activities or there are some differences in the choice of economic activities that are made by men and women. Basically, is there any different types of economic activities undertaken on the basis of gender? Listen carefully. Due to historical and cultural reasons, there is a division of labor between men and women in the family. Women generally look after domestic work and men work in the fields. Sakal had mother Sheila, who used to cook food, clean utensils, washed clothes, cleaned the house and looked after their children. While if we talk about his father Bhuta, he cultivated the field, sold the produce in the market and earned money for the family. Sheila, his mother, was not paid for the services delivered for upbringing of the family. Bhuta earned money which he spent on rearing his family. Women are not paid for their services delivered in the family. The household work done by women is also not recognized in the calculation of national income. On the other hand, if we talk about Geeta, who was the mother of Vilas, earned an income by selling fish. Therefore, you can summarize that women are paid for their work when they enter the labor market, when they are doing some kind of economic activities. Their income, like that of their male counterpart, is dependent or is determined on the basis of education and skill. Education helps individual to make better use of the economic opportunities available before him. Education and skill are the major determinants of the earning of any individual in the market. Now, women are paid for their work when they enter labor market, but they are paid low as compared to men. This is because of the reason that most women have lower level of education and low skill formation too. Therefore, a majority of women work where job security is not there. However, if we talk about women with high education, then we can say that they are getting at par with men. Their income is at par with men. Therefore, income of any individual depends on whether that person is working in organized or unorganized sector. Before moving further, you all should understand the meaning and difference between organized and unorganized sector. Just go through the next part of video carefully. For students, we can categorize economic activities into two bases. On the basis of nature of economic activities, that is primary, secondary or tertiary, or on the basis of conditions of employment, organized sector or unorganized sector. I hope you all have understood these terms clearly. Now, the most important question of this chapter is, can population be turned into an asset for the country? The growth rate of population of India is very high. On the other hand, food and other facilities available are much lesser than the population growth. Then how can we use this growing population as an asset or as an instrument to grow more, to have faster economic growth? Basically, do population lie on the liability side or on the asset side for a country? The simple basic answers of this question is, population can be turned into an asset if we work on the quality of the population. Now let's understand the term quality of the population. Actually, quality of the population depends upon the literacy rate and the health of a person. Health and literacy rate can be indicated by skill formation and life expectancy. Skill formation acquired by the people of the country. The quality of the population ultimately decides the growth rate of the country. Illiterate and unhealthy population are a liability for the country, while literate and healthy population are an asset for the economy. In our next video lesson, we are going to study this topic in detail. That's it for today. Let's have a quick revision of what we have done today. We learned meaning of economic activities and non-economic activities, and also the difference between these two. Then we discussed types of economic activities. The types of economic activities can be also called sectors of the economy, that is primary, secondary, tertiary. We understood these three terms into detail. Then we had learned about different types of economic activities undertaken by men and women. Then we learned the difference between working in organized and working in unorganized sector. Lastly, we discussed the question, is population an asset for the economy? Which depends on quality of the population. Ultimately, we are going to study in our next lesson education and health segment as an investment in human capital. That's it for today. Keep revising, keep learning, and don't forget to do worksheet. Thank you so much.